Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very interesting news to go and cover on over here for you guys, where we're now seeing the PlayStation CEO himself, Jim Ryan, now actually going out there and apologizing over here for the PlayStation 5 supply issues. Now, as you guys know, and kind of also want to maybe like a proper addressment and also kind of like talk about the future of all the stock and all the consoles overall. And it's kind of a nifty thing because we don't usually see too much CEO talk. Like we do on occasion, but I feel like someone like Phil Spencer is in the news quite a bit more, which will actually probably cover up some news that Phil Spencer has actually talked about probably tomorrow as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on if you guys like all the juicy gaming drama and CEO drama and stock and all of that stuff, because I always like to go and talk about that. But as I mentioned, we've seen like a pretty good influx of new stock when it comes to the PlayStation 5 consoles. We've been seeing retailers having stock. We've had the day-to-day restock videos, which actually might end in the near future, so we can actually focus more on just pure normal videos and pure gaming, which I think nowadays people kind of enjoy a little bit more, because I think a lot of you guys actually have gotten your consoles. But we still actually have seen a lot of issues still in other regions, such as in China, and Japan, Australia, Canada, a lot of European countries, Russia, wherever it may be. There's a lot of these spots that are still in need for a lot of these consoles. Now, America and the UK have been a little bit babied by Sony, but we also still have to kind of worry about this. We're going to talk about this, talk about Jim Ryan's statements, and also kind of go through a little bit on some fun Japanese news too as well right after. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys want to follow. We have the Amazon links as well for all the signups and Target links too. And let's dive into the video. So we actually had a very, very nifty PlayStation blog. Not from basically an American though, it's actually in Japanese. But it also does go and highlight a statement over here from the PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan himself, where they kind of talked about the supply issues. So to give you guys kind of the quick over here and kind of talk about it and then talk about some other stuff. So we actually had a user over here with Genki Japan doing a quick little highlight and showcase over here, where it shows that Jim Ryan apologized for the PlayStation supply issues in Japan itself, and also Asia as a whole. Because don't forget, we've still been seeing a lot of Chinese issues, Indian issues, the Philippines, Indonesia, or whatever it may be. And this is also at the PlayStation Partner Awards. So basically just like a pretty high-end, award ceremony place. I can talk about the games, talk about everything else. We'll showcase that up in a second. He said the supply issues have been resolved for the holiday season and also hopefully into 2023 over here from the PlayStation News. Now, to kind of fully dive into this one after we talk about it, but preemptively, the holiday season so far here in America has been very, very good. I would almost want to say if the stock kind of continues just a little bit of like a nudge going on, we actually might have the stock issues pretty much solved here in America. Now, I know a lot of folks who have been on my channel have mainly kind of on the glow up over here, have been more focused on like trying to get the consoles and the restock news, etc., etc. Now I kind of feel like my channel's a little bit more segued into like more of just the news like this, like gaming news, etc., which I kind of like. Like if you like this type of stuff, want me to keep doing this, let me know. We're probably going to experiment a little bit more and have a little bit more freedom in the near future once I take a few days off and we can stop the restock grind, because it has been like 3,600 videos in a row. But for this one, we've seen a lot of these big retailers and a lot of folks in my own community, like the people who are really hyper into getting consoles and finding the stock and getting all that good stuff, into finally having a chance to get it. Now, we're going to have to see, like I said, until 2023 and see if, like, January and February and March, we'll still have, like, a similar amount of stock. Because in the prior years, we have seen, like, those, 3 months or so at the start of the year be a little bit more laid back, mainly because they probably put out a lot more extra stock in the holidays and plan for the holidays, and they kind of prefer that, for Christmas, etc. So his statement over here in regards to this is saying, we would like to report that we have resolved the long-term supply issues of the PlayStation 5, and we will be able to deliver to Japan and Asian customers from the end-of-year shopping season and into 2023. We apologize, let me go move my camera over here. We apologize for any inconvenience and greatly appreciate your understanding and cooperation. Many fascinating titles were born in Japan and Asia in 2022, and I look forward to honoring them for their outstanding achievements today. PlayStation will continue to strive to be the best place to play for everyone. Now, a big thing to note over here is that they do want to put more of a, a nice comment over here for PlayStation in Japan and Asia. Now, as I mentioned, the stock has been mostly pretty good, and it almost kind of seems like Jim Ryan's almost alluding towards the fact that the restocking issues are mostly done. Now, I will say I'm cautiously optimistic, just more on how bad these past few years have been. Scalpers and botters have been plaguing everywhere, and the same thing is that stock has been hard. Now, right now it's good. Like the past week's good, and I'm going to hope for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, months, whatever, and we're all kind of back to normal. And then it would also make a lot of sense where if, like, say, America is also mostly, like, they have stock in hand, and then, like, the UK has mostly a stock in hand, and they can probably start then migrating over to other countries that need the stock. So they would never necessarily stop the stock here in America, but let's say instead of doing 500,000 a month in America, they do, let's say, 250, and then obviously the extra 250,000, they can go put like 100,000 to Canada, 100,000 to Australia, 50,000 to Japan, or however they want to go and segment on out. Plus, with semiconductor issues being a little bit more laid back and a little bit more chill, that probably means that the factories have a little bit more chance to maybe go and put an extra, let's say, 100,000 orders a month if there's like a little bit less demand ongoing for everything else out there. So this is a really good statement, and it pretty much is really good if you're on one of the outside countries, such as like in Japan, or such as in, like I said, like China, India, whatever it may be. So very cool to go and see this news, and especially because it kind of almost confirms that we'll have a lot more stock, and ideally we'll have a lot more stock available up in stores and online, and you don't have to worry about doing day-to-day videos and restocks, because oh my god, after all these years, I can't wait to make any other video. Like, you guys have no idea. I mean, I love doing it. I love seeing the people's reactions of folks getting consoles and receiving consoles and having a good time, but for me, I'm ready to talk about anything else. Like, I don't care what Target's doing anymore at this day and age, but we got a little bit left on it, and then we can go and finally take a break and go into more of a proper, I guess, video loop. So anyway, we did see President Jim Ryan himself make apologies and kind of own up for his statements over here. So as we mentioned, too, is kind of what we want to say for this one. He basically said, we have solved the issues, we're working towards it, and we want to make sure a lot more cool games are coming out. This also kind of dives into a little bit more into the future of, say, like Final Fantasy 16, which would definitely be a big PlayStation title, and as well just trying to get more in these Japanese games, because it seems like they're trying to push more towards a Eastern expansion and trying to get a lot more Chinese developers, Japanese developers, etc., etc. So basically, we did have a lot of these statements over here, and a lot of these cool pictures, too. Rollins comes over here for the reports as well. So basically, this was like their big partner awards, and they're trying to do it for the actual PlayStation like birthday. This all came over here on December 2nd over here, and finally had a chance to do all these showcases with it. So it had a lot of the stakeholders, so big stockholders, etc., and a big atmosphere, and did a award show, and people have drinks and party and have interviews, and kind of see like the overall state of the country too as well, with Jim Ryan also saying the words we were just discussing. Now they had some big user choice awards over here with Elden Ring. I have no idea what this is. And then Stray, Ghostwire Tokyo, and also have no idea what game that is too as well, but we'll probably see in a second. So it's Earth Defense Force 6, we have Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin 2, and look at how fancy and cool that trophy looks like. I'm a little bit jealous because I would love one myself. Ghostwire Tokyo was a cool game, although it could have been a little bit cooler, and of course they had some special awards over here for Gran Turismo 7 and Apex Legends. Very nifty and very cool to go and see as they've gone through this one. They also did have some partner awards, so this is like not Sony studios themselves, which we saw like, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Resident Evil, the actual Demon Slayer games, Final Fantasy, and a few other various ones too as well. And like, I just love seeing how happy all these folks are and getting actual proper recommendation, I guess, for all of their achievements. And especially, these are the folks out here that they want to expand into. Like, don't forget that Sony is more of a Japanese-based type game, and they want people playing on the Japan and China, etc., because that's just the vibe. Like, they just want people having a good time. They want these consoles to be nationwide. And it's kind of funny, too, because like I said, they are a proper, Japanese type company. So they basically just went through all this stuff. They had a chance to go and discuss it and say, like, hey, we've had a lot of really good variety of titles emerging from our partners and Sony Interactive, too, and they had a lot of issues, obviously with the pandemic and just supply chain issues and everything in between. And while it is also doing very well and is a high demand product, they've already kind of announced and discussed before, and what we talked about at the start of the video, that they have a lot more production on the way, they have a lot more production planned, and they're making really big progress too at a very good pace. And in Japan, they are already establishing a system to increase the number of supply of PlayStation 5 significantly from the end of the year, and they are working hard with each department to provide the best possible baskets for Japanese users who are interested in the PlayStation 5, so please take this opportunity to enjoy the best gaming experience on the PlayStation 5. I think. That might have just been Google Translate, though. But basically, trying to go and say that PlayStation stock is going good, that Jim Ryan himself is sad that it took so long to get to that point, but he's happy it's finally getting a little bit better, and hopefully a lot of you guys out here still trying to find and get your consoles can get them ASAP, especially if you're in a different country. So give me your thoughts and comments down below, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below for all the sign-up links if you just want to check those on out. Same with the Twitter and Twitch stream for bonus giveaway entries, and I appreciate you guys all so much for existing here in the first place.